Hi everyone, welcome back to the SAM Biology classes online. I am Salim. Today we are going to study another important concept of second year PUC NCERT chapter number 5, that is Principles of Inheritance and Variation. In that chapter we are going to study this topic, inheritance of one gene. So it is a very important topic and it is many times asked in the annual examinations. So therefore listen this video very carefully. Before going to the inheritance of one gene, first of all we should know what is inheritance. I told you in the last lecture, inheritance, it is the process of, or you can say the phenomenon of transfer of characters from parents to offspring. Okay, the phenomenon of transfer of characters from parents to offspring. ಸೊ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಯಿಂದ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಗುಣಲಕ್ಷಣ ಬರುವ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಜೀನ್? ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಜೀನ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಫಂಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಜೀನ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಫಂಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಇದು ಅನುವಂಶತೆಯ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಾಹಕ ಘಟಕ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಜೀನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅನುವಂಶತೆಯ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಾಹಕ ಘಟಕ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ನೋ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಗ್ರೇಗರ್ ಜೋಹಾನ್ ಮೆಂಡಲ್ proposed many laws of inheritance based on his experiments on the pea plant. It is also called garden pea. And the scientific name of pea plant is Pisum sativum. Pisum sativum is the scientific name of garden pea, and Gregor Johann Mendel performed his experiments on the pea plant, particularly during the period 1856 to 1863. Very important period, you should remember. Once it is asked in the NEET question paper also, mention the Mendelian period, that is 1856 to 1863. And he studied 7 characters. Mendel studied 7 characters of pea plants. Okay, for example, height of the stem, seed color, seed shape, pod color, position of flower, etc. So like this he studied 7 characters, and these 7 characters are controlled by the genes located on 4 chromosomes. Okay, so the genes controlling these 7 characters ಅವು ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಾವೆ ಅಂದರೆ 4 ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ದ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್, 4th, 5th ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ 7th. ಓಕೆ, 1, 4, 5, 7. ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ 4 chromosomes the genes are present. Okay, of course this point was not mentioned in the NCERT, but you should remember for the NEET point of view. ನೀಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಇಂದ ನೀವು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ನೀಟ್ CET ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ದ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ 7 ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್? ಸೊ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ 4 chromosomes. And Mendel performed his experiments on the Pisum sativum, commonly called pea. It is also called garden pea. Okay, and the Mendelian period was 1856 to 63. Okay, so how to remember this period? Remember, he studied 7 characters. Similarly, you can remember here 7 years. He worked for 7 years on this pea plant, 1856 to 1863. And he used mathematical logics and statistical analysis to solve the problems in biology. ಸೊ ಜೀವಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬಿಡಿಸಲು ಇವರು ಗಣಿತದ, ಓಕೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಲಾಜಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ principles of statistics are used by Mendelian. Okay, and it was a very new approach in the biology field to solve the biological problems using mathematics and stats. ಗಣಿತ ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಖ್ಯಾಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು, ಅನಲೈಸಿಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು, ಲಾಜಿಕ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಬಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬಿಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ನ್ಯೂ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ in this period it was a very new approach. Now with this background, let us study the inheritance of one gene. Okay, And first of all, I will tell you briefly about the schematic representation of inheritance of one gene by taking an example of height of the stem. Okay, so in yesterday class I told you height of the stem is taken as a typical or classical example to study the inheritance of one gene according to NCERT syllabus second PUC. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೀವು, because question is asked like that only. Okay, so you can see that this is the schematic representation of inheritance of one gene. So you can see that there are totally 9 steps. Okay, parents, genotype, gametes, F1 generation, F1 selfing, gametes. Okay, 6 steps. Then F2 generation, phenotypic ratio, genotypic ratio. So compulsory you have to write all these steps and don't skip any step in your annual examination, because each step carries the marks. Okay, you have to write all these steps without skipping any of them. Okay, now let us study first. See, Mendel crossed a homozygous tall pea plant with a homozygous dwarf pea plant. ಮೆಂಡಲ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಒಂದು ಎತ್ತರದ ಬಟಾಣೆ ಗಿಡವನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಕುಬ್ಜ ಅಥವಾ ಗಿಡ್ಡ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬಟಾಣೆ ಗಿಡ ಜೊತೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಹಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಪಾಲಿನೇಟೆಡ್ ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ in the F1 generation he observed that all the plants are tall, indicating that the tall is dominant over the dwarf. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ಎರಡು ವೆರೈಟಿಯ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ F1 ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮೆಂಡಲ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆಲ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಟಾಲ್ ಬಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಹೆಟ್ರೋಝೈಗಸ್. Remember yesterday I told you that when the pair of alleles are this similar, you can see that it is capital and small. So these are this similar alleles and they controls a character that is nothing but a trait, tall. So therefore this is called heterozygous condition. But dear students, remember, or you can see here clearly, the parents are both homozygous. Homozygous means you can see that both are capital, here both are small. It means, so the pair of alleles are similar, here the pair of alleles are also similar. Okay, therefore this is homozygous tall and this is homozygous dwarf. And why T alphabet is chosen? Because it is a genetic rule that always the first letter of dominant trait is chosen as a alphabet. ಪ್ರಬಲ ಲಕ್ಷಣದ ಮೊದಲ ಅಕ್ಷರ. So in tall and dwarf, tall is dominant, therefore T is chosen as a alphabet, and dwarf is recessive character, therefore recessive characters are represented with small letters. I hope you understood these 3 steps. Okay, parents, homozygous tall, homozygous dwarf, and the genotype of homozygous tall is capital T, and genotype of homozygous dwarf is small t. Therefore homozygous plant produce only one type of gamete. Here also one type. You can ask me why sir only one? Because both the alleles are similar. Okay, let me give one general example. Say for example, if you went to a shoe shop, you want to purchase a shoe, and if you try, imagine a number 7 number. Okay, 7 ನಂಬರ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಶೂ ತೊಗೊತೀರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಇಟ್ ಆನ್ ಎ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಲೆಗ್. ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್, ನೋ ಡೌಟ್ ಟು ಚೆಕ್ ಆನ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಲೆಗ್. ಹೌದಲ್ಲ, ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಲೆಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಫಿಟ್ ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಒನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ, ಎಡಗಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಸೈಜ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಾದ್ರೆ ಬಲಗಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಸೈಜ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದ ಸೈಜ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೇಮ್. ಎರಡು ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 7 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 7 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಸೇಮ್, ದೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ ನೋ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಬೋತ್, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನಫ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೋಮೋಸೈಗಸ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್, ಐ ವುಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ಒನ್ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಹೋಮೋಸೈಗಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್? Homozygous plant produces only one type of gamete. Okay, so homozygous plant produces only one type of gametes. So in this homozygous tall produces capital T gamete. Okay, the gamete containing capital T allele, and homozygous dwarf produces the gamete containing a small t allele, and both are fused to get the F1 generation. Now, after getting F1 generation, Mendel allowed these plants to undergo selfing. So here selfing means self-pollination. You know that in the second chapter of NCERT you studied self-pollination means the transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma of the same flower. ಓಕೆ, ಸೇಮ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಂಥರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೀಳುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಂಥರ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮಾ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೀಳುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಆಂಥರ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮಾ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್. ಸೊ you have to remember, in parents he used cross pollination, in selfing he used the self pollination, and here you can see that it is a heterozygous stall, therefore two types of gametes are produced. Okay, one is capital T, another one is small t. Here also you can see that one gamete contain capital T allele, another gamete contain small t allele. And then coming to the F2 generation, okay, so you know that in F2 generation we use this square, so it is called a Punnett square. In some words it is also called checkerboard. So checkerboard antanu kuda karitare, but actually the correct word is it is a Punnett square. It is a graphical representation to indicate the all the possible genotypes. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜೀನೋಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬರೀತೀವಿ. ಸಿ ಹೌ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ದಿಸ್, ಸಮ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಡೌಟ್ ಹೌ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ದಿಸ್. ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟು ಆರ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಟೇಕನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟು ಆರ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಟಿ ಹಿಯರ್, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಟಿ ಹಿಯರ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿತೀನಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಟಿ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್, ದೆನ್ simply apply this or multiply this. So capital T, okay, capital T, small t. Again, small t, capital T you can write, but always give first preference to the capital letter. Therefore I have written here capital T, small t. Okay, you can write small t, capital T, but according to representation it is wrong. First you have to write capital T. Okay, so why? Don't worry, just I will tell you, 2 into 3 is equal to 6. 3 into 2 is equal to also 6. So no problem if you write capital T, small t, ಅದೇ ಒಂದೇ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಲೆಟರ್. ದೆನ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ small t, the last box will be like this. Okay, and now you can see the phenotype. Here both alleles are dominant, therefore we know that tall is dominant. Here one is dominant, capital T is dominant, therefore again tall character is expressed. Here capital T, small t, again tall is expressed. Now listen very carefully. Here both the alleles are recessive. Dear student, when both the alleles are recessive means small letter iddag ಏನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, always recessive trait is expressed, recessive character is expressed. So in tall and dwarf is recessive, therefore dwarf is obtained here. Okay, and now the phenotypic ratio is 3:1, that is 3 tall and 1 dwarf. So you have to write the phenotypic and genotypic ratio by using this box only. Don't look at above. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡಬೇಡಿ, ಈ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಕೌಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. You can see that 1 2 3. So 3 tall plants are there and phenotypic ratio only 1 dwarf is there. Therefore the ratio become 3:1. 3 ಅನುಪಾತ 1 ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And genotypic ratio. So genotypic ratio, write both the capital first, then one capital letter, one small letter, then both the small letter. It means, so here you remember capital letter means homozygous dominant, this is heterozygous, and this is homozygous recessive. So how to remember the trick? ಫಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕು, ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ 2 ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕು, ಮಿಡಲ್ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಟಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ 1 genotype is there, therefore 1 I have written. Now here it is capital T, small t. So there are 2 genotypes, heterozygous conditions are 2, therefore it is I have written 2, and small t only 1. So therefore the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1, whereas the phenotypic ratio of inheritance of one gene is 3:1. Okay, I hope you understood this. In examination you have to write this in the sentences. So ಇದನ್ನ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ if it is asked for 5 marks. Okay, now you can see that as I told you, so Mendel crossed a homozygous tall pea plant with a homozygous dwarf pea plant. In the F1 generation, all the plants were tall. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಟಾಲ್ ಪೀ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾರ ಜೊತೆ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ? ಡಾರ್ಫ್ ಪೀ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್, ಕುಬ್ಜ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪೀ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಇನ್ ದ F1 ಜನರೇಷನ್, ಇನ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫಿಲಿಯಲ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್, ಹಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ಡ್ ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಟಾಲ್. Okay, indicating that tall is dominant and dwarf is recessive. Okay, ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. Okay, I have shown earlier. So same thing. So homozygous. So Mendel crossed a homozygous tall pea plant with a homozygous dwarf pea plant. In F1 generation, you can see that all plants are tall, but they are heterozygous. What does it indicate? Tall is dominant. So tall character is dominant, I mean tall trait is dominant, and dwarf is recessive ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಎತ್ತರದ ಲಕ್ಷಣವು ಪ್ರಬಲವಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್, ವೇರ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಡಾರ್ಫ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್, ದುರ್ಬಲವಾಗಿರ್ತದ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ when these F1 plants are undergo selfing, in the F2 generation both tall and dwarf plants are produced. Okay, you can see that in the F2 generation both tall and dwarf plants are produced in the ratio of 3:1. Okay, F2 generation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟಾಲ್ ಡಾರ್ಫ್ ಎರಡೂ ಬರ್ತವೆ, ಬಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಇನ್ F1 generation ಓನ್ಲಿ ಟಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್. ಸೊ 100% ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟಾಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ F2 generation the tall and dwarf plants are both are produced in the ratio of 3:1. So 3:1, you can remember, it is a 75% of the plants were tall and 25% of the plants were dwarf. Okay, so same thing was written here. Okay, so same thing was written here. Then he allowed F1 tall plants to undergo self-pollination in F2 generation. Okay, so in the F2 generation both tall and dwarf plants were produced in the ratio of 3:1. That is, tall 3 plants barutte, dwarf 1. It means 75 and 25% ಅಂತ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. 75% were tall and 25% were dwarf. Okay, so this is all about the schematic representation as well as the explanation or description of inheritance of one gene, and it is many time asked for Karnataka PU board examinations. So particularly during the year 2016, 17 and 18 March also annual exam, this question is asked for 5 marks. So you have to write schematic representation as well as these 3 points you have to compulsorily write, because it carry 2 marks, and the schematic representation including phenotypic ratio, genotypic ratio will carry the 3 marks. So if you understood the concept, please like the video, subscribe the channel and click on the bell icon all and share with others. Thank you very much.